I tell you, he continually impresses you. That's the thing about Who Shot J.R. Jackson.
You know what would have impressed me, though? If you had the opening to The Sopranos, which is the best open ever for a television show.
But he was even better than the opening to The Sopranos. This is more subtle. This is the theme from The Godfather.
How do you not get excited when you hear that open for The Sopranos?
I'm not knocking it. I'm just praising JR. I like the theme.
I lost it last night when he like is in a Suburban and the little credits swing by and that song that I'm not gonna sing even though it's the best. I mean, I was dying. I've been waiting.
All right, well, I suspect later in the show that our producer JR will bring it to you. So you liked the episode of Sopranos, I take it, Joe?
Yeah, no, but as I was saying on the break, I was expecting to be disappointed because, for instance, as I said, Curb Your Enthusiasm, which was in my top 3 shows for 3 seasons, 3 years, came back with a 4th season that he should have been embarrassed with, and so I figured always last seasons of all these good shows. Friends, Everything Will and Grace it's gonna happen there too. Cheers, even Family Ties. They all suck in their last season. This is The Sopranos' final season. They're doing, I think, 12, and then they're waiting another 3 months and then doing 8. So I figured it was going to be awful. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. They introduced a character that I'd never met before, and captivated the whole time. And the best suicide I've ever seen.
Right, sure. It was a graphic, difficult to watch suicide, but that's what happens when people hang themselves.
No, it was the most authentic you could have ever gotten.
I just didn't think Tony would hang himself, that's all.
Oh, no, he didn't. And then I love what's going on with Tony's uncle. That is good. And then Carm, she's losing it this season. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I think that what's important is what you're making a mistake of. But first of all, those shows weren't all bad in their final seasons. They were not.
They were disappointing.
They were disappointing because they had set a very high standard. I thought the last episode of Cheers was outstanding. I loved the last episode of Cheers.
Cheers, I misspoke.
Family Ties, it's a ridiculous thing to
awful.
even bring up. It was a bad show from start to finish.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. You watched it when you were 8.
I loved Family Ties.
It was for children. It was a children's show.
No, it wasn't.
But, then there are shows like NYPD Blue, which went out critically incredibly strong, held together really until the end. Hill Street Blues, other shows that really, it's hard. And comparing it to Curb, which is a much more sort of innovative kind of, it's much harder to do what they do, I think, in Curb really well. Now, I'm not taking anything away from The Sopranos because I think it has changed the way everybody watches TV. It has enabled us to see and enjoy shows that I never dreamed possible on TV, shows like The Shield and shows like Rescue Me, which could not, I don't think, have survived without The Sopranos paving the way. But I don't see, these guys are too good, and they also have constantly, they wanted to, David Chase was ready to stop after year 4, then he was ready to stop after year 5. And they're creative guys. And, it's weird. I was reading an interview with him, and his idea was that he sort of got trapped into the serialized version of it. He initially, obviously, if it's going to go 6 years, you got no choice. He originally conceived it as being sort of that each one would be much more freestanding, that it would be like an hour-long movie. That's really what No, obviously, as the characters grew and developed, that's the great thing about episodic television is it gives you a chance to learn so much more about a character than you would learn in a 2 or even a 2.5-hour movie. Been 2 years, right, since The Sopranos. They were gone in May or June of 2004, and so it's been essentially 2 years since we were back.
And it appears that all that James Gandolfini has done in those 2 years...
Yeah, Twinkies.
...is eat.
Yeah,
he's giant.
Yeah, calamari, lasagna, and ziti.
He's as big as a house.
He's a big fella. And that last scene after he, if you haven't seen it...
Are we going to spoil it?
Yeah, it's already aired. So if you haven't seen it yet, earmuff the kids. Okay. The last scene where he is, let's go with this. Injured in some way. And
something happens.
And he's lying on the ground. Man, that face, that looked like Cenk on steroids. It did. That's exactly what Cenk looked like with the moon face.
Yeah. Tony Soprano had a bit of a moon face. Especially, because in the accident, he's lying face up on a floor. And
he doesn't look well.
And the face, literally stretches out, kind of like rubber cement.
It's just, I watched it
bleeds.
Let's also 12 times. It was I couldn't believe anybody would look that big. But they did. They used it in the show. He gets on the scale, he weighs himself.
But all he's eating is sushi.
Yeah,
there's some joke there. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been eating a lot. I think there's no question. The guy likes to put it away.